Je, unawatambua the Kiambu Mafia? Ni jina ambalo lilitumika sana enzi za kitambo baada ya rais wa kwanza wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, mzee Jomo Kenyatta kupata kuchukua ushukani na kuteuliwa kama rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Alipata kutengeneza kikosi cha watu waliotambulikana kama Kiambu Mafia ambao walipata kuongoza nchi ya Kenya kutumia mkono wa chuma, ama nikitumia lugha ya King'eng'e, they led the country with an iron fist. Leo nitawapa kisa kidogo kuhusiana na Kiambu Mafia katika kipindi chetu hapa ndani ya The FM Show kinachotambulikana kama The Drums of History. The Kiambu Mafia is a pejorative term referring to a small group of the Kikuyu people primarily from the then Kiambu district of Kenya, now Kiambu County. These people benefited financially and politically from the Kenya African National Union, KANU, and Kenyatta taking power after the independence. These individuals earned wealth primarily in parcels of land awarded or sold to them by the government. For many years, they were the predominant indigenous group in the Kenyan economy, controlling tea and coffee plantations and retaining heavy influence over the tertiary sector as it developed. Due to the influence the Kiambu Mafia had, they could acquire lands from peasants in Central Province in exchange with bigger parcels of land in the Rift Valley. The plutocratic style adopted by the government of the day allowed them easy access to essential resources. Many of these individuals were well educated, having attended universities inside and outside Kenya. However, it must be appreciated that there are individuals associated with the Kiambu Mafia not from the Kiambu district. When Kenyatta's health started to deteriorate, the Kiambu Mafia was concerned about their continuing influence, and so they decided to plan the succession in the event Kenyatta died by trying to amend the constitution so that the vice president would not automatically hold power until the election is held. Remember then, the vice president was the late president Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. Charles NJONJO was one of the mafia, but differed with them due to his apparent interest in the presidency, which the group members were not prepared to support, came out strongly opposing the succession talks, but saying it was in fact treason to even imagine the death of a sitting president. Political analysts and historians are of the opinion that Jonjo considered Moi a weak politician and was of the view that it would be easy to take the presidency from him rather than any of the Kiambu Mafia. When Moi came to power in 1978, he abolished all the tribe movements including the Kiambu Mafia, but his main aim was the Gema, many of whose members were part of the Kiambu Mafia, as he was not comfortable with the huge wealth and power it controlled. Remember, the Gema consisted of the Gikuyu people, the Embu people, the Meru people. Yeah, that's what Gema stood for. It was the Kikuyu, Embu and Meru Association. And remember, these are the biggest counties which hold the Mount Kenya region. So, in regards to the Kiambu Mafia ended with the death of Jonjo. Remember, they tried to revive it through President Uhuru Kenyatta, but the people of the Mount Kenya region refused to listen to President William Ruto, to President Uhuru Kenyatta to support Raila Odinga. And they went ahead to back up none other than the current president of the Republic of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto. Now, tukipata kuongea kuhusiana na the Kiambu Mafia, mtaniruhusu kidogo I give you an insight in regards to one of the men who was alive then. When Kenya gained its independence with Jomo Kenyatta as its first leader, he assembled a group of Kiambu men, mostly relatives, who ruled this country with the iron fist. With the president, the attorney general, the foreign minister, the defense minister, a minister of state, and the commissioner of police, all from the Kiambu, and that's why they were referred as the Kiambu Mafia. The levels of power were held securely in that area. Gatundu. This was Kenyatta's home village, and it became the power base where delegations from all over the country went to pledge their loyalty and donate to Mzee's favorite charity causes, a local self-help hospital and Mama Ngina Children's Home in Nairobi, South Sea. Mr. James Gishuru used to sum up Kiambu thus, and I shall quote Mr. James Gishuru, "It is not by accident that Kiambu was made the seat of power. It is not that they like it. It is because the god of the Kikuyu decided that Kiambu would be the head, Murang'a the stomach, Nyeri the legs." Mr. Gishuru from Limuru was Kenya's first defense minister and among a cabal of power barons who became known as the Kiambu Mafia. In Africa, we all know that Kenyatta played in Africa's Premier League of those who fought for freedom. They included people like Egypt's Abdel Nasser, Ethiopia's Emperor Haile Selassie, Ghana's Kwame Nkrumah, and Tanzania's Mwalimu Julius Kabarange Nyerere. Together they formed a de facto collegiate presidency that founded the Organization of Africa Union, which is now the AU. But it was in East Kiambu home that Kenya felt its real power, Mr. Kenyatta. Now, quoting lawyer Paul Mwite, he says, it is Kiambu. It held these twin roles then, but that has now disappeared and has been transformed into an economic power. That's what Paul Mwite said then as the Kikuyu Member of Parliament. And he continued saying that we Kiambu need to live up to this reality and take our new role as the country's economic hub. Starting with an 8-member cabinet, 5 were from Kiambu: Kenyatta, Gishuru, Mbiu Koinange, Joroge Mungai, and Charles Njonjo. Mr. Charles Njonjo was perhaps Kenya's most powerful attorney general ever to have ever graced the Kenyan land. Dr. Mungai was the foreign minister and appeared eager to exceed in his power. At one time, President Kenyatta had to reprimand him for announcing to the media that he was the leader of the Kenya delegation to a Commonwealth meeting, which was actually led by the then Vice President Daniel Arap Moi. Then there were Bernard Hinga, the Commissioner of Police, Dr. Josephat Karanja, first sent to the Court of St. James, London, as High Commissioner, then Vice Chancellor at University of Nairobi. In London, he was replaced by Ng'ethe Njoroge, a brother of Dr. Mungai. Even the head of the elite presidential guard, Mr. Bernard Jinu, came from Gatundu. The Koinange family got it all. A minister, a provincial commissioner, Mr. Charles Karuga Koinange, and the headship of Kenyatta University College, Joseph Koinange. Now, Mr. Stanley Munga from Githunguri was the MP for Kiamba, was made chief executive of the state-owned National Bank of Kenya. Today, Kiambu is no more a political power base but an economic hub. Attempts to make it the political hub in the country succeeded in 2013, but it was again withdrawn in 2022 after President Uhuru Kenyatta stepped out of power. We all know that. Right now, Kiambu is not regarded as powerful as it was during the eras of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta and Uhuru Kenyatta, and also during the era of Attorney General Charles Njonjo. And I tell you, this is a tale, just a snip into the Kiambu Mafia, which ruled this country with an iron fist. Yeah, hapa ni ndani ya FM show. Kumbuka kipindi ewani ni The Drums of History na mimi wako mtangazaji Felix Mwenda. Tuungane kwa video zetu zijazo.